there, hit that draw, and he can get some of those insane PMWC tournament sets. Meanwhile, 721 GS gets a nice knock there onto S-Power. Godlike really looking to shut this fight down. It's a 1v2 situation. He gets one.
There we go.
Gets the thirst. Can he get the second?
Beautiful scene so far. Damage back done onto S-Power, but can the squad still save it? Ooh, quick shot, Jugs. Got to throw the clip in. Down over the toe. He thought he was slick enough to mantle, but he gets the shot off.
That had to be an accident right there. I mean, I'm sure he had his jump and climb split buttons. Sometimes we have some people combine it, but if you get just a little too close, you get that animation jumping up, and you know he was just like, oh, it's over.
He's so exposed, no chance to fight, bro.
Oh, it's so tough. So tough. But you know what? That is great on the side of Godlike. So they take full advantage of it. Now we're seeing the zone pop dead center here as TT Project gonna go ahead and get this ready. He's carrying his teammate there. There you go. He's moving off the hill. Effect. Knocking down Aura here. And Jiggle does have an angle, but they should be able to get to safety. Oh, no fear, never mind. Yeah, no fear on the other end. He's gonna go ahead and get his revenge for his teammate there and take out two on the side of TT Project.
Yeah, this is far more awkward now. Trapped back just on the rock side towards the coastline. Ephes cooking the nade, wants to dash that towards No Fear. Too shallow, few more left in the inventory though. They can try and hold him back for at least a few more seconds, but they're the ones that are at panic stations. Aura waiting for the opportunity to strike. Ephes so low off the engage. Effect though, reels them in. He's looking for the flush on it as well.
Oh no, but he jumps down into the water. That actually could be a workout for him. Let's see if he's going to climb that hill. And it looks like he's trying to find the angle. He does. Here we go. Now they have two different angles they can actually fight this from. Evius just says, now I'm jumping down with my teammate. 2v1 situation, but can't hit the shots. And now No Fear is at the advantage. Never mind. What is happening? Shots back and forth, but No Fear finally shuts him down.
Woo. A nail-biting fight on that one. They can at least recover, still have 3 of their players alive for Hora as well and build off the back of this. And that's 8 Elim points they've racked up, leading the lobby right now.
That's the worst case scenario for this lobby because that's really like the only slot that's available there for the finals considering how well these other teams did. And Godlike are looking to close the door here nice and early, saying, you know what, if you want to try to get into the finals, you're going to need to win at least a couple games because we got such a point lead. And that is how you start it there. 8 eliminations, full squad up. It's looking good for the side of Godlike. Oh, Romeo. Sky, run for your life. Drive away. And it looks like he is going to barely escape that one.
Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? On the bridge, getting Elim's, but that's where he is.
He was looking right at the sky there, and that is Aura. Now we're gonna look at No Fear, Get Thirsted. Young Galacticos gonna actually get into this next game as the circle shifts up to the north side now. They are in the blue. This is still stage 3. They can eat a little bit of this circle for now, but it's time to finally find out where that next spot's gonna be.
It's a bit more uncomfortable for Hora then, as they do get away with only that duo, and this could potentially be an even more uncomfortable entry back over towards the zone as they've got to bypass Alpha 7. Vision onto them. Ravo jumps out the vehicle. Good shot from range, consistent with the orb to shut down another one, and only Jiggle gets out. 9 Elims might be where they reach and end this one.
Man, this whole tournament has been so chaotic. You want to avoid the survival stage at all costs. Yeah, it's 6 teams out of 16 moving on from that stage. Still, though, I mean, you do not want to be put in that situation. I'm talking to you, Alpha 7. Meanwhile, Team Vitality getting into it with 721 GS. They do end up having one player knocked. Team Vitality, so strong yesterday. Gonna go out early here. They do get 4 eliminations, but like I said, they can do whatever the heck they want today.
Yeah, this is a quiet one for them. They've already done the hard part. Fair play, though, mate. On the other side of the spectrum, right? Yes, Vitality, our top dogs, they're out. But look who's climbing up from the depths. This is now 11 eliminations they picked up. getting over the safety of the threshold so far, Jukes.
Oh.
Maintain this, you could save your tournament.
Absolutely. I mean, that is a perfect start on the side of 721 GS. And considering that it's in Rondo, right? The chance to really make up for a bad day one, and they're doing it, right? I mean, double-digit eliminations. Now it's all about just getting into that end game. So I want to see them get themselves in a good, solid position and just focus up. Because ETSH, Hustler's crew, all right, Dopeness have not done anything so far.
No, they really haven't, and Dopeness as well. You know, you're down to just the solo. Couple elims, sure, but it's been quiet outside of that. And that was the third-party fight that opened things up to allow them to collapse onto it. The replay here is when Dopeness lost a lot of their members up against Vitality. I'm curious, Jukes, as well. I think mechanically yesterday we saw Alpha 7 look very good in terms of how they were approaching the game, but they never had any luck on their side.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I was saying. You know, I was looking at their numbers for the past 2 international tournaments. They were getting tons of eliminations and like 0 placement points. Very, very low on that end. And so I want to see them get into finally some late games and show what they can do.
Yeah.
It's just been so difficult lately, especially when you have a few teams just do something so insane, right? It's wild to see what happened yesterday. But today's a new day. Another team that I want to see make something happen is Tianba, right? I expected a lot from this squad, and now they are still very far down on the leaderboard. You can see them pushing into that circle from the south side. Let's see if they can make it up here in Rondo.
For Alpha 7, their eyes might be lighting up off the back of the recall for Dopeness. They're all parachuting back in relatively close by. Could be a chance for those three to fight with the arena in close proximity, but Tianba are in the move, back in towards the zone. Godlike not far out with Manya. Just up on the ridge side there, supported by the rest of the crew. It was a bumpy early game for Yangon, but after that recall, they've been pretty comfortable, at least on their rotation path.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it worked out well for them, especially considering that they were pretty late in this game because of that recall. It took a long, long time. But, you know, that's the way this game works. Sometimes those circles just shift and the fights happen in such a perfect way where you're able to sneak your way into zone pretty clear. It doesn't happen often, so when it does, you got to take advantage of it. And no better place to happen, honestly, in Rondo, right? The game where you can end up with 39 points.
It's all about those big finishes. Curious if there's a chance we get a bit of an extension into each other there with Dopeness. Right on top of Smile. He's the one player that's fragmented off from the 1-3 split they've currently got going. SayCloud further out doing a bit of scouting as well. This is the establishing shot for Tianba and Godlike. Godlike obviously far more set up with cover to work with off the back of the warehouses. Tianba not so lucky.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to hold this little valley right here and hold it good for now. Not a terrible spot in this next zone, not the best either, but this is Tianba after all. Still pretty wild to see them down in 12th place, 24 points, very uncharacteristic and unexpected, at least from a lot of people here. You got QZZ, a superstar that can really ring things out. But all it takes is for a lot of these teams, just one good situation where their back's against the wall and let their gun skill shine. And I mean, I would not be shocked with Tianba, who has 0 points right now. They could end up with 20 very easily here.
72-1 GS as well. Still looking to see if they can squeeze any more points out of this one. Dopeness taking the hits onto Alpha 7. A bit of a back and forth already. Ravo looking to close the gap as he drives by. Good control. Switching seats and hitting shots as he puts them down. And quite quickly, manhandles Dopeness. They do lose Korea though, so it will be a 3-man squad for the A7 crew.
Yeah, you can see the crowd showing off them Rebo jerseys. The man, the myth, the legend is here, and he is putting in some work. This is what we needed to see from A7. 8 eliminations so far. You're right, yeah, Carrillo did get taken out, but for 8 elims, that is a sacrifice that you got to be willing to take. But job's not done yet. Still a lot more work if you want to make it straight to those finals, and they do get a nice knock there onto Mormon.
Alpha 7. Looking like they're starting to hit that high tempo. Caught whiff of the arena further back and take pot shots onto them. Meanwhile, before the zone moves, you can see Ida took a few shots over the Hustler crew, and that's the crunch in, Jukes.
That's the crunch in that's going to make things interesting. The circle goes to the north side. That's huge on the side of Godlike right here. A perfect zone shift for them. Taking a look there at the leaderboards so far. This is the problem, though, right? I mean, we were so hype about Alpha 7. 9 eliminations. This is a great game, right? The problem is that you're hunting down 5th place. Godlike have 8. So you've only closed that gap by 1 point so far.
Try as they might, there's still so much more to do. And even then, during the map feed, we could see like they were getting consistent damage back over to E Arena, so they're not giving up any of this fight. They're still looking like they want to try. They know the win condition, Jukes.
Yeah. This is the problem, though, right? If you don't have a great day 1, you could have a good, solid day 2, but it could be too late, right? Especially if you see consistency from those top 5 teams. They're going to keep on pushing that point threshold even further and further beyond. So for Alpha 7, if you want to catch up to top 5, yeah, the 10-point game isn't going to be enough. You're going to need a 20 to try and close that gap. So they still are in this game with 3 players up. The problem is that Godlike is as well, as so is every team that really matters, because Vitality, no one catching them. They can go out early. But for everybody else still here, it's going to make things interesting.
72-1 GS going in on Alpha 7. They got an opening knock. They want to try and capitalize off it, Jukes. They've swung rounds. That's 1 tag back over, but it doesn't look like it's going well from the elimination feed right now. This could be the downfall of Alpha 7. Seems like it's just a solo remaining, trying to hold on to it. This is the POV.
There we go. We got it now. You can see Guizhou trying to get some shots down range. Shooting, busted some vehicles here all over the place, but he gets put in a blender. E-Arena, they heard that fight happen, and they came to disrupt it, and they definitely did. But now Young Galactico said, oh, you want some of that action? We'll take some of that as well. And they take him out.
Cleanup crew plays. Goodbye, E-Arena. See you later, Alpha 7. Meanwhile, Godlike have been battling versus ETSH. It's all kicking off around the zone. 72-1 GS. They thought they were cooking with gas. Silenced on the clap back there. Yangon Galacticos. Trying to get them to remember their name, Jukes. They got to say it with their chest.
What an interesting play, honestly. 72-1 GS, 15 eliminated.
Arcs the nades in. Stereo setup, Dukes. Here comes the boom.
Bang, bang, bang. 7-2-1 GS getting punished by Yangon Galacticos. Tough start for them. And now looking to finish strong. It's all up to Masco. And those nades are just inching closer and closer. He's got to hit some shots here to buy himself some time.
Ooh, zone shift as well, crunching in. It's still good for Godlike.
The crowd went nuts.
They're loving that.
The second they saw that shit, they're like, that's what I'm talking about. This is our game to win. And this is worst case scenario, literally for the entire lobby, because that's the one team you didn't want to pop off, because that was the one slot that looked juicy, available. But now it's looking like it's long gone. Let's see what Yangon Galacticos can do, though. They're going to start pushing up on the Masco. Yeah, Masco, oh man, those plays, those shots too strong. No way he survives this. Yeah, he's a goner.
Yangon Galacticos Slowly but surely, getting their head above water, piecing together some big plays, but Tiamba, are they the squad that can clash and take this goods location off of Godlike? Well, S-Power's nade has other ideas, and Adamino also steps up to the plate, leaving two of the Tiamba squad down on the deck. This is the push in from Milu. Shotgun, low HP on Godlike, quick shots, but he can't quite find it. Panic stations, Duke, they're all going down.
S-Power is shutting down this monster squad. Said, oh, I hear you coming this way. Eat some of these nades, baby. And now QZZ stuck in the blue zone. He's just going to go out here. He said, you know what? Deny the point, and Godlike looking unstoppable here in this match.
Do we need to say more? The energy of the arena here in Paris says enough about the excitement from the plays from Godlike. And like you said early, they're ruling the roost, gifted the angle to stay where they wanted to be with the zone, and Tiamba was the only squad that tried to fight them for it, and they failed. Hey,
you know what? Some people could say that's a lucky shift, but Godlike, they're making their own luck here. Tiamba pushed up, and they shut that down so dang fast. Young Galacticos, they're in trouble here. They're on that south side. They're outside of the zone. They're getting gate kept by everybody down here. Now it's all up to Say Cloud to make a play for his team and try to get these reses. He's going to throw the smoke, but the zone is closing. Yeah, Say Cloud's gonna be the only one up left.
So low in HP, in a horrible position.
And here comes Blue, and bye-bye.
Give yourself up to it. Unless there's a hero play to be made, it'd have to be something miraculous.
Oh.
I mean, they've got a divot off the back of the damage to the terrain. He could save Romeo with at least Nonshin Red's force attention right now, not being hard stuck on him. I mean, Dukes, it's better than going out.
Got him up, and that does deny the point at least. So if they go down the blue zone, then they're going to deny it here. Romeo inching up little by little is going to try to make a play, though. Here he goes, throwing some nades out. Gets knocked there. And so easy said, yeah, no, I'm getting that confirmation. I need those points.
Just Say Cloud left them. He's still got a ton of utility left to work with as he throws in that nade. Zone eating away at him. I mean, it's good chip damage, and it's even making it more enticing for Godlike to take pot shots at him. He's just trying to buy time to live out.
Yeah, he's using that heal strat to maybe even get a little bit of extra placement. The problem is though, that the second the zone pops in 5 seconds, he's gone. So let's see. Can't even get that heal off. Doesn't look like that's going to happen. Yeah, so his play zone is going to take out Young Galacticos there, as Nongshim Red Force are the team holding the south side, but Godlike are just spreading their wings here, saying it's time. We want all these eliminations. Let's shut down this game in some beautiful fashion.
How far can they take it? A quieter approach to things from S2G on this one. Nonshin playing it smart, playing their cards close to their chest, but they've suffered a fair bit of damage off the back of being pinned into this position, being shot at from 2 angles. Whereas Godlike, they've just been ruling the roost, Jukes.
I mean, they got a baker's dozen already. They're looking real good. 13 eliminations. And look at this, finding those tight angles, tight peaks. They know this game's in the bag here. It's literally Godlike's game to lose. Let's see if they can close it out, though. That's always going to be the question. Oh, Nongshim are there. They are toast, dude. They're forced to run out in the wide open. No smokes available. And, man, they just get deleted. Godlike soaking up all these eliminations. If you're Nongshim Red Force, honestly, it's really interesting to see them kind of go for this strategy here, as they're going to be feeding a lot of points on the side of Godlike. And that is 16 on the day. Then Group B's rondos have just been ridiculous.
Yeah, we've not seen anything like it, man. Some crazy games. As you'd expect, Nonshin, they had no pathway back in to try and vie for contest this game. So the last man falls, and this is what it comes down to. STG versus Godlike. They had a bit of a scouting play. They found this duo of Manya up towards the top side. Might want to actually collapse on it. Lost goes in quick. S-Power cooking the nade. Good chip damage from Manya. Switches to the shotgun. Baits them in. He wants to fight, and the nade from S-Power once again is a delight for this roster, as they are sending reverberations throughout the Qiddiya City grid, bringing the heat down on S2G.
power is just insane. He's been throwing heat-seeking missiles all game long and opening the fight for his team. A full 4v4. S2G tried to catch a couple of their players off guard, but it's S-Power, baby. You can't shut him down that easy.
You can't stop S-Power, and you cannot silence Godlike in this moment. Adamino for the closing play as Godlike take this chicken dinner with ease!
That is how you do it here, folks. And you can see the look on their faces saying, make some noise, Bears. It's Godlike's time to shine.
The energy of this arena says enough about the excitement and the plays that this team has been making, and they deserve every bit of celebration they're getting, Jukes.
Absolutely, man. I mean, this was that one slot that looked like it was available. The top four looking very far away, very out of reach. But Godlike say, you know what? Let's just shut that door right here and right now. This top five is locked, right? Now, at the same time, there's still quite a few games left here, right? You got to put up consistent points, but if those top five do that, it may just be too far to reach.
That's the scary bit, right? Is obviously some of the other squads that were above the teams that were looking to climb, they fell out pretty early there. Like Vitality not getting a great game out of this one. Godlike capitalizing where it matters most. Like you say, dude, you've made it so much harder for the mid-portion teams. You want to get into finals? Yeah, good luck. You might just have to go to survival, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, even a team like Alpha 7, who was doing great this game, right? They had a good, solid amount of eliminations, but at the end of the day, you know, you could put up a 15-point game. If the team you're hunting down puts down 16, you did nothing. As a matter of fact, now you're behind a point, right? So that's what it all comes down to at the end of the day. It takes full-fledged consistency in both days, and look at that. I mean, they just basically said, hey, bring it, baby. Good luck. Try catching us now.
Oh, yeah. Pulling ahead. Everyone's blowing up. You can hear the excitement, bro. It's insane, the energy we've got here right now at EWC. And it's a spectacle to behold. You come in to what was an explosive day yesterday of sheer talent, unexpected results, crazy circles, and then we start to run it back all over again.
Oh, that is how you do it right there, guys. Let's get it going here. We got some more action coming up in just a bit.
Here at PMWC at EWC 26, we have many activities that we can do before the games, in between the games, and after the games. And I think Max is there currently doing something. So let's see if maybe we can go in and give him a bit of a challenge, as he almost just absolutely ate it. Max, come over here, Max.
I'm training, I'm doing my routine.
No, I think you've been training. Let's do a 1v1. Pick a spot somewhere over here. If you make it, I'll try to match the shot.
I'm gonna wreck you. I'm gonna wreck you.
Oh, let's see if he can actually do this. All right, come on now.
On the X.
Okay, all right, on the X. Let's see if it's gonna go in.
I checked the math. The best way to throw a basketball is actually the granny shot like this.
Let's see if it's gonna happen. Oh my, okay, you know what? I'll give it a chance.
I'm just giving you a chance right now.
Okay, here, hold on to this.
Okay, come on. Mr. 7WG in the court. Yeah, the granny shot. From behind. No way, Jose. That was terrible. Wait, he's cheating. You just got 2 in a row. That was actually not bad.
That was close. We're getting closer and closer. We're gonna keep on practicing.
No, he's cheating. You just got 2 in a row. That was actually not bad.
That was close. We're getting closer and closer. We're gonna keep on practicing, and we'll see if maybe one of us can make the shot. Come on, Max, you gotta make at least one for us. Okay, well, we'll keep on practicing our skills. Back to more PMWC at EWC 26.
We were there for every click, every clutch, every respawn. We were there for the years of grind, and we're here now. The proud founding partner of EWC, powering the biggest event in gaming, shoulder to shoulder with the world's best, making history. Greatness deserves a stage. Lenovo Legion, reach your impossible.
I had to steal it from Alpha 7 because Godlike, my goodness, what a performance we just saw out of that squad, controlling the North and absolutely smacking everybody.
Yes, this is what we wanted to see from them. Let's go. Some really, really good stuff, right, Max? I mean, we just saw so much from this team. The 2-2 split we were talking about. There's a really nice 2-2 split coming on through there. Really good stuff coming in. I want to say STG did make the right call going for the duo on the North because it was the high ground. It was cut off, but sending an extra player from Godlike up to there to defeat, to defend, to get those nades, some excellent nades coming in from them. A very well-deserved win coming in from Godlike.
I mean, in particular, when talking about grenades, Some, oh my goodness, some of the fights he was taking inside of Neox factory, he put a nade like literally on 2 extra floors up in that building, and he just gets it on that player up there. It was incredible stuff from Some, Admino too. No eliminations coming out from Manyab. He was like the RTS master, just putting his troops where they need to be to get that chicken dinner. So great IGLing, great fragging power, and of course, they're getting a total of 20 elims on a Rondo. Oh my goodness, they're here to play.
Impressive stuff there out of Godlike. You might be wondering, why are we comparing them with 7-1 GS? Because this squad needed to make sure they got out of the bottom 3, and they were able to do just that, Lace.
Yeah, I mean, they're clearly understanding the assignment today. They had a 2.1 average point day yesterday. So, you know, this is clear. This is clear that they had to do this. They cleared that eastern side, transitioned smoothly into the middle of zone with 8 eliminations. No team casualties is a massive turnaround for this team. Then, to cut the head of the snake, taking down Vitality is a huge power play. And I mean, this was a crucial 15 eliminations that they added to their tally to put them in 11th spot.
Yeah, that's going to be a massive push. They started the day in 15th place. A team that needs those points. Godlike as well. With this, Godlike moving even closer and closer to the finals as we take a look at the match ranking here. Hora Esports, I mean, we'll get a chance to talk about Yangon Galacticos in a bit, but Hora Esports continuing to be consistent as well with that fragging power we know they're capable of.
Yeah, very happy about Hora Esports, right? We saw No Fear get some really good fights from their side. Unfortunately, at the end, didn't have the numbers to really defend against Yangon Galacticos going for their crossing over. But I want to highlight one team that's very important here in terms of storylines at the bottom of the rankings. It's 7-2-1 GS Esports. They woke up massively here on Rondo. 15 eliminations, 1 placement point, which is, you know, like meh, okay, short, but overall 7-2-1 doing a massive push to get rid of that bottom 3 slot.
Exactly. I mean, that's what Lace was just talking about as well. With Alpha 7, Alpha 7 ends up getting those 9 eliminations. This is good for this squad, but one thing that we need to point out is those teams that they were trying to hunt down for the top 5, they were still alive.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit interesting to see how it goes into the next couple of games with this. I do want to say one thing though, is A7 much better already today than yesterday, for me at least. I mean, they had better presence. There was more just meaning behind their splits. That 1-3 split coming in, the info was better. It just felt like a team that had a lot more synergy than they did yesterday. So definitely very excited to see what we got coming in for A7.
Yeah, I mean, they had better scouting today. Yeah. So you could clearly see that they were actually prioritizing this a little bit more than yesterday. Obviously, we had an awesome interview with them. They said they were going to try some different plays, but it seems like they're returning to their natural presence, which is amazing. And I mean, that drive-by from Revo, man, that was so incredibly clean, well calculated. 1 casualty out of that, but this is the aggressiveness that we expect from our Brazilian team.
That Brazilian team is going to be looking for me because I did end up losing an instrument. You know what? I'll join you guys. Why not? I'm like... Okay, I'll put it back now. They're going to be looking for me. It's going to be hard for me to get out of here. But Max, one team that was able to actually do a good rotation, have a good strategy here, and a team that needs it is the defending champions of PMWC, Yangon Galacticos.
Yeah, Yangon and Galacticos actually a team that was, I would say, a little bit more passive towards the very later stages of this game, but actually ahead of that, their rotations from the western side, able to cross that bridge against the side of Hora, which is some great rotations, and especially great scouting from this team that I think a lot of teams could try and learn from the scouting capabilities of Yangon Galacticos, especially at one point, Iptra, leaving SayCloud behind them on a high ground position in that one building to make sure he can scout for his teammates which positions are free, which positions are available, and then the entire team just send it over to the eastern side of those buildings to get the high ground for themselves.
I know you got a illustration for us. Natira, do me a favor, grab the mic from him so he can actually use both hands.
There you go.
And if you want to, yeah, put the mic.
I need to talk in the mic, thank you. Now, if you're looking at this position here, one big point of contention the Yangon Galacticos got for free because of that insanely good scouting is going to be here, and this is like a two-tiered parking slot that they're going to be playing, which is a high ground position and literally the entirety of the circle. But before that rotation, they had a scout that was actually over here in this position, and he was just providing information while his teammates were going for that wide rotation into that compound. The scout, it's a lot of microphone. The scouting was just on point. I wish they were just more aggressive later on, but in terms of the rotation in the early to mid-game stage, Yangon still have it here at PMWC 2026.
Yangon still got it, baby, and you still got it too. Feeling like a celebrity over there, Max, with so many microphones just surrounding you. But for this squad, we need to continue to see that proactiveness. We need to continue to see everything that we're seeing out of them to maintain themselves closer or within the top 5, because right now, E-Arena has been a team that has been slowing down a lot. They started off hot, and they are currently in 5th place.
I mean, just to give you guys a recap, we saw complete control from E-Arena on Rondo yesterday. Started at Stadium, continued at Stadium, and ended at Stadium with a record-breaking 29 points. But from today, starting on 3 eliminations. I mean, you know, it does come down to zone pull, but it seems like they're not showing their presence that they did yesterday. Obviously still kind of maintaining that nice average to keep them above that line, but this is something, you know, we expected coming, especially on Rondo on this map, that they would have been taking charge of everything.
Yeah, and we're looking now at the new bottom 3. The new bottom 3, Dopeness, ETSH, Hustler Crew, Dopeness. I know that squad, it hasn't been looking good, and now they're in the bottom 3.
Yeah, it's odd. It's odd one for me because like they're one of the only teams that didn't hot drop on Rondo, right? Everybody went into NEX except for a few, and Dumpness was one of them. I want to see more from that. Maybe a hot drop. Maybe a hot drop.
I'm actually not super hopeful about them because their best game yesterday was on Rondo. Today, they did nothing on their map.
Well, can Dopeness maybe turn it around today, as we're going to be sending it over to the first Erangel of the final day for Group B. Hot Jukes, Jackie, take it away.
Here we go into Erangel. Let's get it going here. And I like what the desk was talking about, right? They were talking about the new bottom 3, you know, and I think that's where our eyes are going to definitely be on here for the rest of the day, because unless these teams in the mid-pack do something crazy consistently, we may not see a new top 5 for a minute here, because there is already a 15-point gap, Jack, between 5th and 6th place. And with how these top 5 teams have been playing, it's going to be pretty tough to cross that.
Yeah, it's feeling really defined already, right? That's kind of what we were talking about, the downtime between last game and this one. So effectively, yeah, you've got to just keep your eyes locked in at who's in the bottom right now. That's the biggest area of movement we're looking at, where realistically there is chances for some teams to save what could have otherwise been a really rough run in Group B. At top dogs, though, unless teams start targeting them, Jukes, and things get spicy, I feel like they've just looked so consistent. They've looked so hardy. It's going to be really rough to push them out of this position.
It's going to be tough indeed, but if you're going to go ahead and make it happen, it's most likely going to happen on Erangel. So here we go, folks. Match number 2 of Group B. Final day of the groups, right? We still have survival stage coming up, but it's all come down to this. So yeah, 15-point gap. Now, you know, mathematically, for all you guys watching, you're like, hey, come on, it's 15 points. It can still happen, right? And it definitely can. The issue is the fact that the top 5 teams are still going to get points, right? So, you know, if we see the top 5 put up 5 points here, that's now a 20-point gap, right? So, honestly, I think if you are in that 6th place on down, I wonder what the coaches are saying, right? I think if it's you're gonna have to start really talking about, guys, like a regular game is no longer okay.
Yeah, I think it's one of those, right? Just be like, look, guys, I want to let's cut our losses. Just go for a hard drop. Do something. We've got to just try something.
Yeah.
If we can starve them from getting no points, I believe in Paris that'd be nil point. Well, there you go. Check that one, Max Man. Let me know. Yeah, if you can actually just target them, deny them physically even being able to play one battleground here, just starve them out for a game. Maybe you've got a chance. But yeah, like you say, normality, probably not going to be ideal. This ain't normal though, bud. We're getting these circles again.
Oh, are you kidding me? Here we go again. Southern Plane Path, super northern circle. You know, I would normally be like, team vitality, ain't too happy about that. But yeah, again, like probably no one's catches of the day pretty much no matter what. So they're good with this one. But this could be a good opportunity, right, for the rest of the lobby to make something happen here. Now, one of the teams that desperately want to is Young Galacticos. Okay, they're in 6th place with 46 points. They're right there below that cutoff. And this is not the best circle for them at all.
No, far harder of a rotation. Obviously something they're quite comfortable with in terms of the drop location. But like you say, having to make that whole wrap is going to be brutal for them. But we've got something that's going to be very exciting for all of the viewers, Jim.
Yeah. And it's gonna be that Naruto skin. That's right, guys. Join that Uzumaki Naruto event. Get that Nine Tails Yuri on. Get your hands on that bad boy because the AUG is OP. And you're gonna do it in style. Right here. But oh, look at this. Oh, nice little shot there back from Jiggle. He put up a fight. But Godlike, man, I'm telling you, these guys are just having a phenomenal day. It's wild to see 39 points in Rondo on day 1, and then Godlike bust down 30 here. So, I mean, when it comes to Rondo, Group B just weren't playing.
No, he certainly had the upper echelons of Rondo gameplay. Made it look super exciting in some of the instances we've been gifted over yesterday and today. And the ideal scenario, like you touched on there, for Godlike, right? Come back in swinging once again. Target some of these squads. The only benefit to that is if you're playing with a 3-man squad for Horo, if this is a bit more of a weakened knee, there's a chance where obviously Godlike thinking, right, we can try and lap them, push ourselves further into the safety net. Helps them out. The other teams, not so much. Still got to be a far better game.
Man, I tell you, if I'm any of these other teams in this lobby and I see Godlike already starting off with elimination, I'm like, oh, this is not good. You know, like they're already getting hot off the rip. That's going to make things tough. So I'm talking about Young Galacticos all the way down to Tianba. It still freaks me out to see Tianba down in 13. I had them as a lock for top 5 here. That's going to make the survival stage that much more interesting, though, right? I mean, we heard Neptura, right? She was happy to see some movement from Alpha 7. I am as well, but you got to look at the reality of things, right? Like, that game was good, but it did nothing. It really didn't do anything when it comes to them trying to make it into top 5, purely because of how good our top 5 teams did.
Yeah, that's the kind of the rough parts about it. It's what we've been saying from the games we saw yesterday as well, where mechanically they're making the right moves. You know that they're damn talented as individuals as well. They're playing off each other nicely. It looks like the comms are looking far cleaner in moments of chaos, but that only goes so far. If you're not able to get yourself into a good position, constantly fighting heads and tails to get even a reasonable compound, a reasonable location in the zone, man. Just feels like you're coming in doing this on hard mode, realistically.
Literally. I mean, that's the one thing I've noticed here, especially in PMWC live here in Paris, is good games are good and all, right? But the thing is the teams at the top of the leaderboards, they're not doing good games. They're not even doing great games, right? They're doing something special. They're doing something that we've never seen before. And you just can't compete with that, right? Just good isn't good enough here at this stage. If you want that top prize pool, you got to break records. You got to do something special.
I think it's spot on. It's what we've seen. The quality of competition has raised to a new level. And these are going to be terrifying squads to have back when we get all the way through towards finals. That's a conversation for another time, though. Yangon Galacticos taking some shots over onto S2G. A bit of a sleeper squad to the previous game. Gave a good run of things, all things considered, with how they approached it. Kamikaze limping away, crossing his fingers, thinking maybe there's a chance, maybe I can get picked up. Just don't give Marnet another knock for free off the back of it. That's the worst case.
I already know what he's telling his teammate. I'm safe, I'm safe, I'm safe. I promise, I'm promise. Give. And he got it. Nice. Solke able to catch Kamikaze there, but Young Galacticos are looking in this direction. Ooh, those stairs. All it takes is one little bullet through it, but oh, he does get that res. So now, hopefully we're going to see Kamikaze get to safety. This is a bridge gatekeep on a northern zone, too. That's ridiculous. I'm surprised we're seeing Young Galacticos take so much time to do this, because this is on the other side of the bridge.
Yeah, they're not on the mainland. They've got a long way to go as well. You got a lot of attention from them, at least looking back over towards the coast. I mean, Smile's in a position where potentially, if they're not ready for the read, if he bobs up Jukes, couple quick shots here. Ooh, could be the difference maker. I mean, Marnet's got the shot off again, so a re-knock onto Kamikaze. Smile's advancing. This could be really bad.
I don't like this fight at all, personally. It just doesn't make any sense to me, because if you're S2G, you're in 7th place, 45 points, right? You're gatekeeping and out of position in the next circle. Like, I get you're trying to hunt down 4 eliminations, but that's not enough, right? In order to get into that top 5, it's chicken dinner time. So to risk putting yourself behind positioning-wise, it's just not worth it. I think at this point, just leave this fight. Go into the circle, try to get into that end game.
Got on the underside of the bridge, so Kamikaze can at least keep himself safe for now and try and catch them off guard, peeking from the other angle. They have that hovercraft waiting for them effectively as like the escape plan. But yeah, it's super elongated battle between these two. Burning through so many of your early reserves as well, just trapped, just sitting pretty.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I get it. You're really committing for 4 eliminations here. But again, you're more than 15 points, I think 16 points behind 5th place. So it's an interesting play. But who knows, right? S2G could get these 4 limbs, run into circle, catch a lucky third party, and it could work out. But at the end of the day, that zone goes even more north. This strategy is looking more grim by the second.
Yeah, it doesn't get any easier for them, does it? How they're so close, man, in terms of the standards. So, like, they're super heavily convinced about this being worth it. But you can see the difference of a team like Vitality. They've gone, right, it's time to go. There's no one on our bridge. Let's get out of here safely.
I just imagine, like, Team Vitality, the comms right now, it's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, la 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 la, we're good. You know, like, oh, why don't we just take a look at Pachinki? You know, what? You guys need anything else? An extra energy drink? Anything like that? They're just so solid on the leaderboard. It's ridiculous here. But oh, here we go. Big fight here. 7-2-1 GS. Get into it with Tianba. QTZ turn around with a shotgun. Gets a couple little hit markers, but it's not good enough. Gonna have to make a play. Oh, but that is Tianba of all teams getting eliminated, and another huge start.
You got Alpha 7 as well, keeping their eyes on this with Wolves also right on top of them. The dinner bell's been rung, Jukes, and this is what we're expected to see. What's going on? Alpha 7?
The aggression is ramping up. I think they listen to their coaches. They're like, we have to fight early. We need tons of eliminations if we want to make it to the finals, and it's Dopeness battling it out with A7. A7 down to a single player. It's disaster for the Brazilian team.
Man, I need to see that one back from their POV, Jukes. Problem stations here. This is getting brutal for them already. Alpha 7 just with Obscure left. It felt like they had seized an opportunity to attempt to third party onto that and squeeze some points, but it all blows up in their face, literally.
Oh, such a rough finish for A7. Down to just Obscure here. Really fortunate on the side of 7-2-1 GS, who in that last game, and if they do good on this one, should put them in a really, really good position to at least make it to the survival stage. And who knows, right? I mean, with a good chicken dinner here, could even possibly get them a little closer to that top 5. We'll have to see how Arena, Godlike, do in this game. But now we're just going to see Alpha 7. Yeah, Obscure just going to have to do something for his team here. Really, really needs to sneak away a couple of eliminations.
You see the migration from S2G. The did abandon their post in the end, leaving the bridge. Here's the replay. Okay, so this is it. It looks like it was the teammate then, I imagine, on the bounce.
Oh no!
Saw it in the healing feed, Jukes. I'm thinking, how on earth does this happen? Like, you just trapped in a building? What's going on? The strafe with a nade. Oh, mate.
Those windows used to be bigger. I think that's what it was.
I don't even know if that would have helped, but nade's not that big.
You gotta thread that needle, you know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, It didn't. It wasn't really a needle. It was a whole window. But you know what? It happens. It happens. You're under pressure. You got vehicles driving up on you. You're trying to make it to the finals, and just one little misplay, you get punished. Yesterday, we saw the Wolves, right, flip a car and get taken out because of it. And that just goes to show at this high level, one tiny mistake could be meaning going to the finals or going home.
Didn't expect that one. You'd be fuming as well.
Oh, yeah.
I hope the mental isn't brittle off the back of the team, Nate. You got to reset from it, Jukes.
Yeah, looking at the bottom of the leaderboards here, the fact that Tianbo went out so early, we're going to see them in the bottom 3, most likely here after this game alone. I mean, you got Dopeness only 1 point away from passing them up. ETSH are still up with 4. Hustlers Crew are up with 3. So one of the favorites going into this lobby who, in my opinion, QZZ is one of the best players in the world. To see them struggle so hard in Group B is just shocking for me. But let's look over here at E-Arena, who are going to have the warehouse near Severny. This is a really solid position. No matter where the zone goes, they're going to have a lot of real estate to be able to drive to there. So let's see how they decide to defend against it. It's not even that easy to press up on.
TT on the quick rotate. Last remember from Alpha 7 there in Obscure, down on the deck. And they're getting themselves into the zone, forging a path forward, and thankfully haven't been popped off by any of the teams in these positions, although maybe that will change with No Fear. Oh, chip damage, Jukes, but not enough.
Put some shots down range, and everyone's just playing keep away. Say, hey, no, someone's here. Do not full send it onto my building, please, and thank you. Oh, Wolves, okay. Nice nade there on the 721 GS. That's a huge fight. That's 10th and 11th place going at it. But it looks like they are just within little nade range. Not fighting it out just yet. Now we're gonna look at Godlike. Okay, Godlike mighty close here to Young on Galacticos. I don't think Young on Galacticos want any of this fight right now. They're just gonna push a little bit further down south the hill. Mormon catches Slonic. Oh, the Wolves looking hurt here, as that's 2 players down, but Elementrix, we're seeing a battle go out, and here he goes. Elementrix getting thirsted, and I believe that is the Wolves eliminated.
The Wolves not surviving as a pack. 1 by 1, they're gone. The Arena resetting off the back of it. Grab Mormon, throw him in the vehicle, and get away to pick him up.
Yeah, wild to see here. Is E-Arena going to push on over to that warehouse? We see Young Galacticos just south of Godlike underneath the hill. Romeo, yeah, using that hovercraft. That's the vehicle to use to get some extra intel. They're pushing up with it. Immediately, Godlike start putting some shots just to try and get it down a little bit further. But Young Galacticos are like, hey, yeah, we're here. Do you want to fight us? Maybe? Maybe you guys just go in the zone. We do as well? Well, let's see what happens.
Yangon don't want that smoke, man. Ooh, oh. St. Cloud with a back exposed. S-Power.
Lucky.
I know, dude. He's been so slick as well. That's the one time we've not seen him get an instant elim off something like that.
Yeah, I didn't think he was expecting to see someone white out in the open. And when you just give him that tiny pixel, he knocks it down. S-Power on point. That's the fight to open things up. Ooh. Oh, and his nades, too, have been so dangerous today. It's a 4v3 situation. Let's see how Godlike decides to take this fight. They're already starting to wrap around, get their claws into Young Galacticos. They're going to have to get moving here pretty quick.
Yeah, the pincer play. Wrap around, set up, giving their squad more of an understanding of what's going on here, whilst the rest of our teams around the zone do begin to duel one another. F is there from TT, falling. Zerich replying back onto 721 GS. And that fight does result in them going down. Out of the running, but another game with 6 elims, Jukes.
Unreal. Now TT Project are down to 1 as well. That's 10 through 13. Pretty much almost out here. That's a huge opportunity for our bottom 3 to get out of there. And meanwhile, oh, Neons actually does a good job of getting a knock onto ETSH. So he's keeping his team alive. Oh, gets knocked. Now it's just up to effect. Last player up for TT Project. Now getting ran over, and that is them gone. And this is a huge opportunity now for ETSH. 7 points on the board. They're looking good to get themselves out of that bottom 3.
Looks like we lost Obscure from Alpha 7 there as well. I believe that was E Arena that went for the wrap down, found the solo and dispatched him, so he's got.
Unreal here. Say Cloud now pushing up onto Godlike, but S-Power is on point all day long. Battling it out, Mito with another knock. Punishing Young on Galacticos. And a 6th place goes out here. This is top 5, pretty much all in it. This is the worst case scenario for this lobby.
God, this is absolutely brutal. Smile's literally the only one that could get away. Got back behind the vehicle, pieced out to create space between the two, but for Godlike, it seems like the fight isn't going to be over. It's only just getting started. Nonshin Red Force close by, S2G as well, pushing up the hill. Nades onto the smokes. Fingers crossed that it'll connect onto someone.
S-Power gets in the vehicle. Oh, goodness gracious. This lobby is looking pretty crispy at this point.
If your workflow looks like 12 open tabs and 3 subscriptions, whew, stop. This is Envato, because I can generate cinematic video, high fashion images, retouch photos, create voiceovers, build soundtracks, design graphics, and mock up products, all from one.
Because our top 5 teams are all in this. Bunch of teams in that mid pack are gone. Next zone does pop, goes right towards that center position. Godlike are going to use that high ground and gun skill to dominate this side of the map. And it looks like they are looking way too good to start the day. Man, S-Power has just been ridiculous today. And that last game was insane. Even here, his shots are just so on point. He came ready to play today.
He's quick, stylish, certainly delivering out there on the battleground jigs.
Maybe that's what the S stands for.
Hey, oh. I wouldn't fault him for it. He's been living up to the brand with the plays he's been making. E Arena. A lot of utility left to work with, and they're casting that up towards this little ridge. A rock between them and ETSH. Nearby bounce on the nade. Apriko's got to double back slightly for Hita. Somewhat effective in these angles. Slight off angle where he can peek down on you. He loves these sort of peaks.
Come on, Fajita. Let's see what you can do. Oh, Attorney K getting hit with that nade. He's going to back it on up. So you know what? I'll leave those smokes right there. Looks like they're seeming to throw a bombardment on them. So E Arena doing a good job. Back it up. Just, hey, take our time. We can't afford to get knocked here. This is still stage 5. This is wild. I mean, I think these teams in the mid-pack all played super aggressive, and it just didn't work out for, like, almost any of them.
It's the exact opposite of what really they needed to get out from this one. The rich will only get richer towards the top, and our bottom 3 squads all still in the running. That's where the movement could be off a game like this. VTSH can keep up the gameplay we've seen with 4 players alive and 7 elims in the bank already. Maybe they can start to climb out.
Nice knock there. Kamikaze gets a nade onto Admino from Godlike. Here we go. It's Godlike versus S2G. Good nade in that direction. Ooh, doesn't hit the mark just yet. And meanwhile, yeah, look at that smile from Young Galacticos, just hiding for his life here.
Just sat inside that smoke. Oh, the vehicle so close to finding him as they're looking to bonnet him. S-Power's on the move as well. Oh! Chicaning around, but S2G lose another player down to 2. Lost, living up to his name because he's panicking right now. Can't quite find him, but S-Power takes a bullet to the back of the head. The SMG delivers. Goodbye, Godlike, as S2G win out on that one.
Huge, huge play on the side of S2G right there, right on time too. You take out Godlike, who have now moved into 2nd place. You got to get these reses, though, and the blue zone is closing. They're going to go ahead and pick him up, get him into that vehicle. It's smoke. Oh, never mind. Says, this ride is for myself and myself alone as I'm driving into a whole bunch of shots. Oh, Soul-K. That is looking like it is going to be it. Yeah, he has to move away from the vehicle. It explodes. And S2G, nice fight, but not able to convert anything afterwards.
Hey, there's Vitality as well, getting LOS onto that. They see them and instantly farm through, stealing away some extra points. Does Smile make a move? The solo here from Yangon. He's thinking about the big picture, Jukes, but look how tempting this is.
Hello! And Razy somehow survived that. The trap that was sprung, and he was able to get out with the cheese. He got out with the cheese, unscathed.
Ludicrous scenes, quick wrap around. Ooh, can't make it back in. That is going to be the deny out then. No chance to re-peek into the zone. Points denied, Yangon removed.
What is this leaderboards? What is this leaderboards, my man? What's going on here? So we got 4 from the top 5, 2 from the bottom 3, and only 1 in the mid-pack? Does it need to be said here? Does it need to be said here, folks? This is insane.
Feeling pretty defined. Feels like it's all just inevitable with how it's been going. ETSH, realistically, the only one towards the bottom side with anything to be earned from this. Dopeness only down to a duo. The last man of Aura in Sleepy, tucked in behind the tree. Hyunbin not far away either.
Yeah, honestly, he's doing enough, right? If you're Aura, you're just trying to put up, 4 or 5 points a game, that could be enough to just put yourselves into those finals. Considering that, yeah, I mean, all the mid-pack teams aren't going to have that 20-point pop-off game that they needed. There's only, I think, 1 that stands a chance. And it's going to be tough, considering that almost all the lobby, the top of the lobby is still here. Look at this, Youngshim Red Force with 1. They're doing exactly what they need to do. Now it's ETSH, the team that needs to get themselves out of the bottom. Now just getting destroyed on the side by E-Arena, the Thai squad. Deleting them out of there. Nice push, though. They did get some good, solid eliminations, but they're going to still need to do a whole lot more if we want to see them in that survival stage.
Yeah, I had to squeeze extra from this one. That's what you were saying. Good isn't enough anymore. For them, it's not going to bail them out. Dopeness, though. The Dope duo looking to clash versus Ida. First one falls. E-Arena even trying to siphon points off the back of that, and they do so successfully, taking down Dopeness. Hyunbin falls. Razy loses his footing on the rocks.
MG3, so good, but you know what? Its weakness is when you're getting shot in the back. Unfortunate there for Racy. Again, Team Vitality just flexing at this point. They still have 2 players up. Youngshim Red Force get that thirst. And, all the teams at top are doing exactly what they need to. Hey, just survive, put some decent points on the board, and it's a lock. Considering that there's only 5 teams remaining, all these teams are going to be getting some good, solid placement points. The real eyes on and storyline left is Ida. Like, if you're Ida right now, the best thing that could happen is you take out this entire lobby here and now.
Just have a monstrous game from it. Give it your absolute all. It's not going to get any easier, though. Weird timeline where Sleepy could probably sneak into the zone unnoticed as well, because Nonshin cleared this whole area, so they might not expect anyone to be there. They didn't find him tucked in behind the tree, so he's looking to just steal points if he can.
Schweppes practicing his TIG welding right there, making sure that he goes and he's walking that cut, fixing that vehicle, getting it loaded up for the rest of the match. I wonder if Ida has that IQ to understand if they were doing enough elimination feed tracking to have a good idea of who's left in this lobby. It's quite difficult with everything that's going on. But if they have a good, solid idea of who's left, then they need to realize that they got to amp this aggression up. Like, why not? If you're Ida, you need to wipe this entire lobby out if you have a chance at getting top 5, because if you don't, and we see 4th and 5th place get chicken dinners, like, top 5's gone. So let's see what they decide to do here. I understand why they're playing it very pensively. They want to make sure that they get to that end game, but you got to ramp up the aggression.
Sleepy spotted in the end. Was hoping he could worm his way back into the zone, but not this time. Nonshin Red Force looking for a bit of an assess on the situation. Got a good lay of the land from the position they're in. Vitality close by towards Ida as well. The arena with a bit of a scouting play. Tourniquet there in the back of the vehicle. Limited cover as well, Jukes. And Nonshin, such an open angle to just take pot shots.
Oh man, this circle not too kind as there's a lot of open field in that center. Everyone's gonna have to play the edge. I would like to see Ida go push up into these buildings though and challenge Team Vitality. They need to, honestly. They have to clear the south side out pretty quickly. And you can see them in the vehicles, in the buggies, just getting some more information for now. Rita, though, is just moving up ever so closely. He could hear those steps. He knows they're in that building.
Audio cue giving the game away somewhat. Rita with a nade as well, pin pulled on it. If he gets a chance to arc it in, find a knock, then they could collapse, but they are starting to fragment over as well. Darkim advanced towards the zone, looking to get set up near the cover they found. 2 players make it in. Darkim with a knock over to Hyunbin as well. Fires back up onto this ridge and does some damage onto Nonshin. Vitality re-aggress. Emre holding. Rito with the assist. The shotgun slays back over onto Federales. Emre will pick off Axel and Vitality crumble to Ida. They're starting to cook, Jukes.
This is a perfect scenario for them, right? They got 2 players already taking a position in this next zone. They were able to clear out Team Vitality, and now they're getting towards that end game. It's still going to be quite difficult considering that you got E-Arena up on top with the circle priority. And most likely, we're going to see Ida fight Nongshim Red Force. So if that does happen, never mind. Ida, they understand. They need to win this game. Push up into E-Arena, challenge them, try to take them out as fast as possible, and then have to deal with Nongshim Red Force later.
So many smokes being arced here, setting themselves up for it, trying to create some semblance of cover to protect them from Nongshim, block off the line of sight, and then take the fight over. Deep nade in as well. Nongshim aren't sleeping either. They're thinking about just taking the hit to him. It could be a freeway battle for the finish instantly. Tizzy so low.
Oh, Schweppes got so much damage onto him. But now we're going to see Ida throw some good nades onto Nongshim Red Force. That's 2 knocks for them. This is the best case scenario. They need to wipe out this entire lobby if they want a chance. Here they go, and they are starting to do it little by little. But now E-Arena have woken up. Now they're starting to put in some work.
So much damage. So little time to try and fix the issues you've suffered from that encounter, and E-Arena know that the knee is weak. Seeing if they can make him buckle with Schweppes.
Another one.
Clearing through. Good shots on target. Brings us down to just a duo on either side. Mormon with utility as well. He's only got that 1 Molotov left in the back pocket. 100 rounds of ammo on the AUG as he shoots up. Emre sneaking in.
That would hurt. Unfortunately, that was his second to last name. Ooh, that molly. Mighty close. And Mormon gets the knock. Single player up left. It's Schweppes and Mormon versus the final player from Ida.
Darkin. Can he somehow find a way to follow through and win this 1v2 peak up? Oh, it's good!
That's huge.
Schweppes falls. They've got the revive off in the meantime. Mormon primes the nade. Tiny K tucks in behind the wall. Nade misses. Darkin peaks. That's on target.
Headshot.
Good shot. Follow-up there. HG takes him away as Tiny K falls. Mormon closes the gap in the shotgun standoff, but will he win it? No!
Are you kidding me? What a finish! It's Ida getting it done in the 1v3.
Played it to perfection, Jukes.
Woo! Let's go.
They go for the res, he gets the engage off, wins the 1v1, isolates it with a nade, finishes him off, up close, sweating bullets with the shotgun, shuts it down and gets the dinner.
DBS behind the tree using that shotgun whip technology, saying, you know what, I'm gonna shoot that shot before you can even see me. and goodbye. I mean, this was perfect case scenario. Literally, this is what they needed to do if they want a shot at the finals, and they did it the hardest way possible. That was not easy. Look at the shot. Whoa. Whew. Bye-bye.
The quick taps on it. Fast fingers. And brilliant decision-making with how he approached it in what was a chaotic moment. Milliseconds of decision-making.
Sometimes you just gotta clutch it up. You know, you just gotta make a play if you want to keep your team in this tournament. And it's plays like that that are momentum shifters, right? It's one of those plays so big, so massive, that it gets your team so dang hyped that you just become an unstoppable force for it, right? So they got it in that game, and yeah, you can see that. You want to gain some faith in your squad? You want your team to believe in you? That is how you do it, and that is a kiss well-deserved.
There was no buckshot in that shotgun, Jigs. It was all slugs. Z just uppercutted the whole lobby.
Made a play. That was one of the plays of the tournament so far. I mean, 1v3 to win the game, and if this squad makes it into the finals, that was it right there, guys. That is the play that made that possible.
From feeling like it was becoming an impossibility to really just dialing in and immediately, like you say, locking in, knowing the game plan, understanding we have to fight. And they were so proactive that entire time.
Yep. And that's the thing, though, guys, right, is you're in a situation where your back's against the wall and you can just look at it and be like, hey, you know what, whatever happens, happens. We're just going to play it out as is. No, like, this is what I love about this year in particular. We're seeing teams, coaches understand just doing whatever happens isn't going to work. You got to do something different. You got to adapt.
You do indeed. And we got to get down to the stage with Kalaris to hear from Godlike.
That's right, thank you very much, boys. Here I'm with S-Power once again to talk about that first victory, as well as what was going on in Erangel, but I want to focus on Rondo to start things off. Obviously, you guys had great eliminations to start things off over in Neox, and then from the north side of that circle, you looked very controlled, and then when SUG wrapped around, you looked super controlled against them as well. What was the game like from your perspective?
Our perspective was very simple and clear. We'll just play our natural game. We'll play in slow. Basically, we'll play in slow motion. We'll just go with the flow, and we'll try to clear our back as much as we can. And we did it very well. We executed the things very properly. So that's why we could secure the champion. Second dinner, sorry.
Looked fantastic, really did. That's a great start for you guys. If you continue that on, you're basically going to be qualified for the final, so it's looking really good right now. Game 2, of course, wide wrap on towards Stalba or on that east side, but then getting stuck on Stalba can be a little bit difficult there, and it kind of felt like that was the case for you guys. What was it like here from the team as a whole?
We did choke there because we planned something, but we didn't execute that in a proper way. That's what costed us the game, but hopefully we are looking forward to the next matches, and hopefully we'll do better comparatively. Yep.
It's looking good for Godlike. Thank you very much for joining me here, S-Power, once again. That is S-Power here down on the stage, looking awesome here on day 2 of Group B.
주나요? 이용해. 차벽 이용해 후보. 공 왔다. 얘들아 왼쪽 보고 많아. 형 나무 기절. 나무 중간 나무. 나무 라스. 해단대. 나이스. Ben yine tepeye çıkabilirim muhtemelen.
Oğlum sen Rita gelen olmayacak dedin de şey gelmesin oğlum iyi.
Kim?
Gelmez oğlum iyi ne işi var? Tam atmayacak bunlar.
Ya beni almanız lazım ya yalnız. Derken sen alırsın beni tamam mı?
Alırım mı? Şundan enforce'u çekeyim. Yok kaçmışlar bunlar ya direkt.
Beni falan yok mu ya?
6x.
Nice.
Mati marah.
Masih ada
Peluru
Ren? Itu bisa dapat 60 gua. Enggak ada 60.
Enggak usah. Di berapa ya? Enes ya? Guys.
Bagian rata, bagian rata. 15 Enes. Berapa mati 2?
Orang mati berapa ya orang? Tadi gua bunuh 1.
Mati gua.
Oke.
Di jamur ada yang mayat di jamur.
Iya ya. Gua bunuh Enes. Bangตีมันไว้ชิ้นนี้สู้มาส่งนี้สู้ฟังกูเอารถโม่ไปรับให้ต้องรับรถจะระเบิดกูจะระเบิดโอเคตายมาผมอยู่นะเตอร์รอมา
Loving the radio comms and the translation as well, but I'm also loving the PMWC Lucky Spin, which is available now in PUBG Mobile. Co-created with PDP creator Nana, the Electron Energy set, the Proton Power set, the stunning Alien Fusion grows out. Log into PUBG Mobile and take your spin before it's gone, like Max has done. I have tried it as well. I'm gonna try it again today because that grows out looks sick.
It is amazing. And it's also glowing. It doesn't look like it right now in the picture, but it does actually glow quite a bit. So it's got some animation. It's themed around PMWC. It's only W's for the skins right now.
And one team that was glowing in that last match was none other than IDA. Because IDA, my goodness, this is a squad that also needs to make sure they stay within that range of getting to the top 5. And they were able to do just that, Neptura.
They were indeed really looking forward to what they have coming in off the back of that big win because, yeah, they did play that very well. I want to point out specifically their smokes coming on in there. We were talking about this again, you know, analysts, we chat in the backstage area. But it was really nice to see them use those smokes against EA when they made that push onto Nongshim. It was a really good performance there to just make sure. And yeah, you're seeing the day 1 versus day 2, night and day. I mean, I think we saw that in game. We could see it very clearly, but night and day on those stats as well, looking very good for them.
I mean, I love this because I love having a look at their average of eliminations and being able to capitalize on that. And I want to give them a get them whatever food they want, buy them whatever skin they want in PUBG Mobile because it's insanity that Arena lost that with that much health and utility. Obviously, no popping on the zigzag, but was not prepared for that shotgun at the end. And you know what? Having teams that, you know, are creeping their way up from the bottom into these positions, they're locked in.
Yep.
And if you think you're at the top of the leaderboard and you're safe, it's not always the case.
It's definitely not always the case. Between Circle for us, we're looking at the match ranking here. Teams 9 through 13 were eliminated, Max, which leaves a huge opening for those squads towards the bottom and also for those teams towards the top to just kind of expand that lead.
I mean, yeah, because it's so close towards the teams in the middle and especially the bottom of the pack, as you just said here, Seven. And because of that, I was expecting Tiamba to just kind of level up their aggression, which they actually did at the very start. They did go for a crash on, I believe it was 721 GS team. I'm like, yeah, this is great. But not on Circle 1 to Circle 2. You know, it's a little bit too early to go for a full commit fight and get instantly eliminated because you're not getting any eliminations and especially not getting any placement points. So, Tiamba, I like the change of mindset, but it's just not at the right time. They need to do the fights when it makes the most sense in these games.
Yeah, I mean, 721 sort of took them down, and that creates like that chain effect at the bottom 3, Max, you know?
Yes.
Giving a little bit of hope to none other than dopeness. They overtook them, put themselves in a good position, got on that north side, didn't scout Nongshim and, you know, just leaving Kenji and Spigot to sponge some placement. But look, this is how crazy it gets at the lower of the leaderboard.
Was look at the top damage dealers here. I was just speechless by what IDA was able to do there at the end. That solo player, he was even celebrated with the kiss on the forehead, just saying, good job, please keep that up. We really need that because if not, then we're not going to be able to make it to top 5 or even get close. But right now, that squad with this kind of performances, at least they're putting themselves in that it doesn't really matter area because they might end up going to survival, which might leave them open to just do whatever the heck they want.
Well, that's exactly how you want to be playing, right? You want to make sure you are comfortable, ready to go, and ready to get into the next game without too much of an, oh my god, we gotta win this game if we want to succeed. But yeah, really, really good stuff coming in from there. Also, shout out to EA in that final play. I do want to say EA actually doing a really, really good job, and I think if it hadn't been for the EDA player, you know, flicking in to get that win, they were isolating EDA really well. They were moving around and trying to control as much of the zone as possible. So shout out to them. It's still a really good game from them. So again, going into the next Erangel, want to see more from them.
Yeah, Arena. Shout out to you, Arena. Right up until the end when you got absolutely smoked by one player with very low HP. One team that has been actually very consistent today, Max, for the first 2 games, which has been a big difference from what we saw yesterday in day 1 for Group B, is none other than Nongshim.
Yeah, I was hoping you were going to ask me about Nongshim Red Force. I love the way they play because they're not an aggressive team early game, mid game, right? They're just trying to get a focus on their position. And especially if you look at this circle finish, western side of Stolber, very northern side. Where do Nongshim Red Force drop? Down in farm split. They go for wide rotation all around the eastern side of Stolber Mountain, get a great entry point, have a 4-man split, just scouting very passively, just getting some information, seeing where all the players are hiding in those bushes. And at the end, when the teams are at their weakest, they're involved in a fight, they have to rock up, they take the high ground position and get a ton of eliminations. Sure, it's not a win, but Nongshim Red Force, the macro decision making is just next level.
Honestly, come over here, Max. That was just... Ah, no!
Off camera! He gave me a little smooch.
Looking at the overall ranking for Team Vitality. I mean, they're going to stay up there too. Godlike still performing well. Just let's keep an eye on that gap between Godlike and EDA Esports because it is currently at 12 points. S2G has been able to perform well. They ended up on a 1v1 with GodL.
Yeah, they did. I mean, I'm on the fence for S2G, honestly, here, Seven.
Same.
Why?
Because yes, they are performing better. Are they performing well? I don't really think so. At least not in that game. I think they were way too slow on that third party. I think they took forever. Once the third party was done, then they took forever to actually push Godlike as well, just giving them so much time to defend.
I mean, especially they only have 12 placement points over the course of what is now 8 games. That's a very low placement point, and the survival time must be abysmal. S2G, you need to get into those late games.
And for this team towards the bottom right now, Lace, I want you to get into your best coaching mentality. How are you gonna hype up these teams like Tiamba, ETSH Esports, and Hustler Crew?
I will personally head over to Hot Jukes. I will reach down and grab his left shoe and probably not do much with it because, you know, I might get a complaint. But look, these teams, especially Esh, coming out of that, they had a great position on the high north side. They had about 5 vehicle cover, 7 eliminations, moving on into that zone. And what did they do? EA Arena, they knew that they were there. It's not like they was just kind of did a nice flank onto them, but they're struggling with these positions into late game. If they were to have just defended EA Arena from behind, it would have been a different story for them. But the passiveness when it comes just specifically to late games from Team Esh is sad.
Yeah, it is sad for them. And for Hustler Crew, honestly, Kalaris, they might need a new pep talk, man.
Yeah, that's going to cost you the big bucks here for PMWC. But I think in Group B, the big bucks has done all the talking. You've got 4 of the 5 at the very top that I think have been the big fish, the big kahunas. They've made some amazing plays happen each and every time. They've looked very flashy, but one that's been ultra consistent without looking too flashy, I think, has been Horror Esports.
Just swimming along in that pond. They're a big fish at the moment. It is Horror. They're doing fantastically well. Again, so far they've had 2 bad games, like a 15th and a 16th, where it's not gone well. But we caveat with the fact that if they don't have a bad game like that, it's a top 5 at minimum. They've had multiple thirds, multiple seconds. They've had a strong win yesterday on Erangel. They're just a consistent team. But when we look at this, it's nice because that's very promising going into the finals.
No, definitely, definitely. Especially since someone like Sky, right, is still currently in that running for a potential MVP spot of this group, I would say in particular. Beast. Maybe you can kind of carry that forward into like a final if it does occur. And that said, I feel like the top 5 as a whole, there's a little bit of separation already gathering from the bubble teams just below them. So Horror currently is kind of that boundary. I think that they can stay stalwart in what they've been able to do so far. Good splits and being able to take central positions. and they do control space very well. It's just that actually the very top of this lobby looks so flashy. When those stack levels come in, it's difficult to kind of go up against that.
Like when we were memeing earlier on in the day with Vitality, they had a really greedy 4-man split.
Yeah, they did.
And then we had Arena with their 39-point game. But it just, by contrast, Horror's just chugging along. And I don't think we'll see 39 Elim games. We won't see 4-man splits going to the finals. That's the winning strategy right there.
All right, well, thank you very much, Blank. It is time now to send it over to some of the big boys. Once again, on the caster desk, it's more games here at PMWC.
Thank you, James. Thank you, Blank. Very exciting seeing everyone start to set things up with how it's going here, Dukes. The day, of course, already raging on. 2 of our battlegrounds played out and another spectacular one just on the horizon off the back of what was a monumental clutch. I'm hoping everyone tries to raise the bar of their own individual level to match that.
They're going to need to, that's for sure, right? I mean, IDA did exactly what needed to happen to put them in the running, right, for top 5. They're still not there yet. I mean, there's still more to do, but you know what? Hopefully they can do it in style, and you guys can do it in style with that new Yangon Galacticos Champion Ancient Charm set. See if you can get that thing in game. I saw the players wearing it the other day, and I was like, I want some of that, right? I need some of that in a couple XL.
Oh, yeah, man. If we can get 2 of those up here.
And I mean American couple XL, right? You know, because otherwise there's like 5 or 6, you know.
Don't worry, we'll get you a tight one that fits nice. We'll get you looking fresh.
Fitted, baby. Straight fitted. And I'll tell you what, IDA are looking fitted to put themselves into that top 5. We'll see if that can happen. The rest of these teams in these lobbies need to go absolutely insane. There's only 4 matches left here.
Yeah, dude, it's gone by so quick today, especially, right? It feels like we've just whizzed through these games. Well, whizzed, probably rather than rizzed. Some of the players have been risen.
Oh, yes, they have. Yes, they have. They're looking good, man, as here we go into the second Erangel match here for Group B. Let's see if the zone's going to be finally kind here in this game, right? I think we need at least 1 normal Erangel circle when it comes to this group.
Is that what you want?
Just 1.
All right, watch this. You ready?
Yeah.
Wait, you just wait. When you see the zone, you're going to be blown away.
Okay.
I'm calling it right now.
You had the crystal ball when it came to GOAT, right, before. Let's see if Jackie's got it locked in now. If this thing goes to Zarky, I'm going bananas.
Just wait, man. The anticipation's all going to be worth it. Trust me, Jukes. It's going to be the most revolutionary zone you've ever seen.
Okay. All right, I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. I know a lot of these teams are ready for it here. As I'm looking at that top 5, now that cutoff being 73 points. That is a huge jump down to 7th place. What is that, 24-point difference? That is a chicken dinner minimum just to catch up. And that's if these teams do nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's looking mighty solidified here. But we've seen crazier things happen, that's for sure. As we're going to see Vitality, out towards military base early, as always.
The Classic set up from a fair few of our squads, as the playing path at least has been favorable for them. What about that zone, though? All right. Could have been way worse.
That's still gross, though.
It could have been way worse, though. That's what I'm saying. But what we're working with here, like 45% water? Like 35?
It's still a nasty circle. I mean, this is really like one of the worst spots because of the fact that you have to make that bet, right? Like, you go to the mainland, you go down to military base, you try to hold that bridge just in case the zone goes in another direction. Vitality don't care. Like I said, they've done so much. They don't need points to do whatever they want, you know? But for teams in the mid-pack, it's not good. It isn't, because this is not one of those circles that's like, oh, I got zone blessed and now I'm going to get 30-point game.
Yeah.
It's like, we're just going to try to make it to end game here.
You're gambling on it of just like, okay, do we stay there? Do we go back to the mainland? Which one do we pick? We're just going to get stuck on a bridge again?
Ugh. I wouldn't even know if I want a bridge fight. What do you do here? I'm really trying to crunch my brain and think, you know what? I think the best strategy here is to go in game and get the brand new Naruto skin. I think that is what you're going to do first, right? Get that Ninetales Fury, Og, and that way I'll look good, right? And once I'm going and get that skin, then really think, what do I do in this game? As we're going to see IDA get that loot truck from Pachinki. Loot trucks really have changed the game here, the whole meta. They've really allowed a lot of these spots that used to be a little bit rougher when it came to loot now be absolutely stacked. Because I'm thinking, if the coaches had to tell these teams, Jackie, you have to win the game.
Yeah.
If you want to make it to the finals, it's win the game. Otherwise, just good luck, right? So what do we do here in this scenario? What position, if you were a team, where would you put your squad in to try and get that 20-point game? You go in mainland, you go in military, you taking bridge? What are you thinking?
I think Gambleware's probably a little bit safer right now to just set up mainland, like you say as well. Like the blessing of the loot trucks right here. If they get something good out of this, I'm sure we'll catch vision at some point of what they actually got, right? You get some high-tier loot straight away. You can just coast early game. Cut out a load of that like early looting time and actually fight a bit more with an advantage. I'm thinking it from the angle if they've just got to carry on from where they left off. Squads like that sort of take that eater mindset of trying to push your limits further, run some risk, bro. You get some high tier loot, get in there, start scrapping, see if you can squeeze elims, bully some of the lobby. You know effectively at this point, like you're kind of middle of the pack. You're not really going to fall that far down. The bottom side's so low. Slipping out of survival is going to be hard.
Yeah.
So you might as well risk it.
You have to, and I think this is the game to risk it. You know, I think that at a certain point, I think here it's all risk, for sure. As we get into the Miramar matches, then it's like, all right, maybe we got to play a little conservative just to make sure we don't fall in the bottom three if you're that low. But here is one of those games where you gotta shoot for the moon, right? Try to get that top three finish. I think if you're gonna go for down a spot, I think you go Ferry Pier, that Ferry Pier hill, right behind the gas station. If you take that spot there, it gives you a lot of control of the zone. You can hopefully maybe even catch some third parties. And it looks like IDA, of all teams, is going to take that spot. So they're saying, you know what? We're one of the squads that definitely could make it a top 5. And I mean, by one, I mean the only one, right? They're the only one really in the run for top 5 here due to that last game. And they're going to control this hill, which I think is an excellent spot in the zone.
And it works out pretty cerebrally for them as well, right? Because obviously you come in, like you say, get that loot truck, arm yourself a bit earlier, that gets cut out some of the additional time they'd have to waste, sort of slowly slogging along, getting themselves better firepower and ammunition to work with. If they run into another squad, maybe they do just take that encounter head on. It's a good call. It was a great last game, and you could see they were all fired up in celebration as well. Big stage like this, Duke, sometimes the paranoia gets to you.
Yeah, it does.
But they certainly rise to the occasion, man.
They have rise to the occasion, and they did it in just such insane fashion. A crazy 1v3 to end things up, to get the chicken dinner, the dub, and put them in the running here is so insane. I mean, job's not done yet. I mean, Godlike have been playing phenomenally today. That's going to be a hard one to catch. And we heard it there from the desk, right? Out of all the teams in the top 5, they were talking about Aura just being like, yeah, I mean, they are consistent. They're up there, but out of all the teams, I think they're the ones that's the most shaky right now, at least when it comes to trying to let IDA catch up to them. So I think if you are Aura, if you're any of the teams in top 5, you obviously want to shut that conversation down right here. But with a circle like this, it's not going to be easy, that's for sure.
The team that was towards the bottom side coming into the start of the day was 721 GS, but they've rose massively, fighting hearty into these games and still being able to squeeze out a decent number of elims to rise up the ranks. Fair few points between them and slipping back into the bottom. Obviously the surprising factor there, Tianba. Didn't think that's where we'd be seeing them, Jukes.
Oh my gosh, I can't, that's like, for me, the most frustrating thing in this lobby is seeing Tianba in, I mean, I don't even want to say it. I mean, they are in bottom 3 right now. I mean, I don't want to believe it, you know, and in every, if this was any other year, I'd be like, nah, I'm not worried, you know, like it's Tianba, they're for sure not going to be blah, 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 you know, but what has happened with Alpha 7, you know, is making me very scared, you know, because there wasn't a world, I would have put the whole house on saying that Alpha 7 were for sure making a final in 2 international events, and they haven't done that yet. So, yeah, Tianba, please get it together, please.
Yeah, we need to see some sort of change. Again, that'd be a prime example of a squad that probably could. If they lock in right here, right now, game like this, right, run the risk. It's not looking great as it is anyway. If you can completely flip that around with a big result, Get some points in, bro. The other teams drop down below you. We know they've got the firepower for it, Jigs. It's just gone quiet.
Silly quiet. I mean, for them to even be close to bottom 3 is insane, and the fact that they're sitting there right now is wild. I mean, they're not that deep down. I mean, it's only 2 points away from Dope